So I wasn't expecting any Lydia buffs, but they might have gone too far. What is up, guys? It's me, your boy Kwis, and we are back again with another video. And you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about some Lydia. And I think what they have done is very interesting to the character. I have put a lot of time into the character since she's come out. I feel like I know a lot about the character, how to play against her, how to play her, what her strengths and weaknesses are. So I feel like I am qualified to talk about the character, you know, the decisions made and what should have happened, what didn't happen. I feel like I've earned that right of my time with the character and working hard. So these are my thoughts. First off, the patch in general, not a fan. I feel like everyone, and I feel like the Tekken team is now included in this, everyone watched that one Core Gaming video where he said buffs are better than nerfs and then just ran with it. I feel like everyone took that statement as like, yes, we should always buff instead of nerf because that's what Core Gaming said. Now, I love Core Gaming This isn't a call out, shout out type thing. Like, I'm not coming for you, Gerald. Like, this is me just saying, I feel like a lot of people took that and were like, yeah, without understanding the reasons behind why he said what he said in that video. Because all we really see here is a bunch of weird buffs, characters that didn't need them, or characters that needed buffs in certain areas getting buffs in areas they really didn't. I'm going to do a video talking about Heihachi later because he is someone who is... I don't understand what they've done to him at all. Like, there are some things in Tekken that's a little bit harder to see and understand, but Heihachi had some of the best generic tools in this game. His jab and his down forward one was top 5 in this game, like, without question. He had one of the best down forward ones in this game. Buffing its range is ridiculous. Like, the buff they've done to its range is stupid, especially considering it's a down forward one with follow-ups, meaning it has mental plus frames anyway on block. And I feel like the character's in a very weird spot right now. I guess I just wanted to buff JDCR because Heihachi, Dragunov, and Armor King all got buffs. But I'll talk about those guys another time. Let's get back into some Lydia. And one more thing before we begin. I got a lot of comments on my last video talking about Hwoarang from angry Hwoarang players that could not believe I dare suggested nerfs to the character. And I'm going to get to you guys. You guys are going to have your own video dedicated to you. Because some of you guys, I'm going to be honest, you just need to get good. I've done Dear Hwoarang haters. Next up is coming as Dear Hwoarang players because some of you guys need to have a talking to. And so, here we are with Lydia. I'm not going to go over like any of the bug fixes because that's just, you know, bug fix. This is this, blah, blah. Like, there isn't really anything in them that's interesting. But the first major nerf to Lydia right here is a nerf to her rage drive, which is now only plus 15 on block. Before it was plus 27, and obviously you hear those numbers, you're like, whoa, that's insane, blah 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 blah, right? But it's now only plus 15 on block. Now, I'm in two minds about this. Like, one, I'm not a fan of rage drives where like you block them, like Steve's rage drive, for example. Like, you've blocked the rage drive, you've done the hard thing, but he's so plus on block, he still gets another mix up afterwards. Like, once rage is gone, it should be gone, in my opinion. And Lydia's rage drive was a bit of an interesting one because I don't know, you could nullify the mix up always just by jumping back after that. You always nullified the mix up. But now what they've done to Lydia's rage drive is, if you can see here, it's basically the same as forward 2 on hit. It gives her forward 2 on block in rage, basically. So it's the exact same scenario from there now. It's literally the exact same scenario except on block now. And I guess, sure, you know, some people still don't know how to deal with forward 2 anyway. So I think this will be like an adjustment period for some people. Once people realize you can just kind of mash after the rage drive now, I don't know. I feel like things are going to change now with that, especially with the second nerf I have to say to Lydia. One I am not a fan of is her cat stance 2 is now minus 10. And this is weird for Lydia because she takes risks to deal with anti-mash players. So one example I'll give you is after 1-2-2 on hit, she only has one option that will catch a dick jab. One. And that's the 1+2. And you see there, that is -10. And now the same situation has happened after forward forward 2 now. She only has one option to catch a dick jabber, and that is 2, which is now -10 on block. So I don't know what this means. I feel like we might see more people just dick jabbing Lydia in these situations, or we're gonna see, I don't know, more people waiting for these moves now to just block and punish. Like, it's interesting because, you know, when I've played long sets using Lydia against people who know the matchup, you do feel kind of limited. You go for a punish here in this situation, and, you know, they can sidewalk a lot. Like, this is also very easy to sidewalk. Same with the 1 as well, you know, but the 1 isn't going to catch dick jabs. So it's a very weird situation now for Lydia. I feel like nerfing this is weird. I feel like it being -9 was kind of okay. Yes, it is a counter hit mid launcher. It was safe. So I don't know, it's interesting. Like, there are a lot of mid counter hit launches in this game that are -9 anyway. So I didn't really see a reason for this one to be an issue, especially considering, like, if she went for like the 4 instead, like, she could get counter hit out of that quite easily. And yeah, so Lydia's new, well, her anti-mash strategies after 1-2-2. 3 is her safe anti-mash option, but that's not going to beat dick jabs. And cat stance 1 is what's going to beat dick jabbers. Well, sorry, it's going to beat mashers after forward 2, but it's not going to beat dick jabbers. So I don't know, dick jab and Lydia might be the new wave. Like, yes, you still get counter launch for this. I don't know, it's a weird situation, and I have to see how I adjust to it over time. Next up, a nerf that a nerf that I agree with is they've nerfed the damage off her Heaven and Earth 1. I think this is fair. The fact that, well, I think it was fair before, but there's another nerf I have to get into. The fact that this was like a complete mix-up, and, you know, they both come out at 16 frames. This is a complete mix-up. Just by guessing wrong, you'd eat a bunch of damage. They also nerfed that move as well, so new combos will have to come into effect for Lydia for max damage. But yeah, you got a ton of damage for going for that, and all you really did there was just like guess wrong on some shit. So I agree with nerfing the damage to that. I feel like they might even nerf the damage to that a bit more, just so it's a bit fair. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like it's fine. You know, we're gonna see some new combos for Lydia, probably just to maximize damage, but I see no problem with that. But what I do see a problem with it now is another nerf they've added to Lydia's Heaven and Earth stance is the 1+2 can now be parried by all characters with a punch parry or regular parry. Before, only Jin, Leroy, and I think Geese, I'm not too sure, I never checked that, only those guys could do it. But now if you have a parry, you just go for it, and this nullifies the mix-up completely. If you have a parry, obviously, because as you see here, both options, because it's the same timing, they both come out in 16 frames. Both options you can now deal with in the same way, and it's interesting to think about, because when someone does go into Heaven and Earth, like, I feel like you have so much time to just mash and interrupt. Obviously, this is practice mode. I know it's coming, blah, blah, blah. But I find myself reacting pretty well to Heaven and Earth. And I found a lot of people, the more I played against them, were reacting to Heaven and Earth quite well and interrupting anyway. So they might have just killed Heaven and Earth stance. I'm not sure. Like, over time, we'll have to see. But I feel like there's the potential they might have, like, killed Heaven and Earth. You can do something like this. You can launch it now if you're Lydia. With a parry, so, like, yeah, interesting. Oh, and also the fair thing they have done, I believe, is Heaven and Earth 1+2 now has an increased 3 frames of whiff recovery, so you got all the time in the world to go for your punishes if you guess correctly and duck. But why guess correctly and duck when you can just parry, bro? Next up, her forward 3 no longer knocks down on normal hit. I think this is fair. Lydia's forward 3 was an underused and kind of crazy move because it gave it was a low crushing mid, see that 17 frames safe knockdown, and also in this situation to give you a wall spat. The move's kind of useless now, I guess. Like, that's one thing I think Lydia kind of lacks, is like mids out of her stance that like really give people a reason to, like, not want to duck. I feel like forward 3 was that mid. But yeah, now it doesn't really do anything like at all. It doesn't low crush as fast anymore as well. So like, I don't know, this mid doesn't, there isn't really a reason to do this unless you think they're going to duck us near the end of the round. I don't know. Like this move is dead. Next up, her forward 1+2 string. You see this here, her 14 frame Punisher. They have changed it from being -14 on block to now -15, and you're left closer. Yeah, that's still -10. If you don't finish it, like if you do up to the knee, it's -10. You do up to that punch is -10, and the last hit is -15. I think this is fair. I ran into so many Lydia players online that would just like use this as an approach tool because you could hit confirm like the last hit so easily. Like there were so many Lydia players I ran into that would just use this as like an approach tool. I think this is fair. You know, it's still strong as a 14 frame punish if you're using it correctly, and it's less cheesy, and if they do finish it, you know, you're getting a launch for your troubles. I think that's fine. Next up, down forward 1-3. Now does less damage. You see there's no hitbox on it anymore, that upsets me. That's one thing I hate about removing damage. Like you lose hitbox, and hitbox make things look cool. So that's one thing I never like. I think a move has to do like 20 damage minimum to do hitbox. Yeah, I think it's 20 damage minimum to do hitbox. But yeah, now does less damage, presumably because of the combo and the damage you got after it. This is a running theme throughout Lydia's patch notes, as they have nerfed like a lot of her combo damage. Down for 1+2, now does 3 less damage. This upsets me because this was such a cool parry. I never wanted to see this nerfed. But the main time you'd see most players use it is, can you get close to me please, Lydia? Can I turn on rage? Was in this rage combo. You'd start off with this, and then you do this, and you right? That was it. But now they've nerfed that, so you know you don't get as much damage on it. I think that's fine. I'm never really against nerfing combo damage, especially Lydia's was quite crazy in certain scenarios, but I'm never really against nerfing combo damage. You know, it just means you're gonna play the match for a bit longer. I don't know, like I'm whatever with that. And then also nerf damage to down back 2, down back 3+4, and her hop kick as well. On block, they have increased the recovery on block by 2 frames, so you have more time to react and punish. I think this is fair because Lydia's hop kick, like people were just like, what the hell? You know, you blocked it and you just don't get your punish because it was so fast. But now added recovery, I think you can even see that. So I think this is fair. This is fine. This is deserved. But yeah, I think Lydia's in a weird place right now. I do not understand why she was one of the hardest hit characters. I think we're still suffering from PTSD from Leroy and Fak. So the moment she came out, people just wanted to complain straight away. And the Tekken team wanted to avoid another PR disaster that Leroy and Fak were. So they just nerfed her immediately. Like I think they just caved into the community and nerfed her immediately, because the thing is, the way I saw certain people complaining about Lydia was kind of ridiculous. Like there were people who didn't know what they were talking about. People would never lap the character, and they just assumed she was broken based off one match they played against someone in ranked and they couldn't win. Which I guess is the case for a lot of Tekken characters, but I guess since Lydia is new, the Tekken team were like, oh gosh, have we done it again? So they just kind of nerfed her, and she's in a weird spot right now. I'm still going to play the character regardless. I think she's fun. Oh, they also nerfed the damage on 3-2. I don't think I pointed that out there, and added whiff recovery to it as well, which is fair. I asked for this. But all in all, I think these are some weird changes for Lydia. I don't understand why she was hit as hard as she was, especially compared to other characters like Geese, Devil Jin, Akuma. There are still some huge problems in this game, and I feel like Lydia is very far down on the list of problems when it comes to Tekken. And like I said, what I really wanted from the patch was a nerf to the top tiers more than anything, and they decided to just hit Lydia. I don't think she's dead. I don't think they've gutted her. I don't think she's, you know, whatever, but you know, it's really weird. But I guess the nerf to her normal raise drive means we're going to see more people use this raise drive instead, which is cool. They don't really see it very much. But other than that, I don't know, I'm not happy with the Lydia changes, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think she was in the category for getting any buffs. I didn't see any buffs that she really needed. I thought she was in a good spot. The whiff recovery things I completely agreed with, but some things, like, I don't know, she's in a weird spot right now. It's gonna be interesting to see how this evolves. But yeah, I think that's going to be all from me on this video. Like I said, I put a lot of time into the character. I really enjoy the character. I'll keep playing her. I'll just have to see how things evolve with the character. I'll be talking about some of the other characters in the patch in the upcoming days, and also you Hwoarang players, I'm coming for you because you guys are delusional. But yeah, that's going to be all from me on this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.